Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make my thumbnails. For this I'm using Photoshop, but you could also use something called Photopea. I will link that in the description. And before getting this video, I would really appreciate it if you guys could drop a like and subscribing is completely free, and you can unsubscribe whenever you want, and it would really help the channel. Anyway, let's get right into this. So guys, all you're going to want to do is press new file when you get into Photopea or Photoshop, and either use the width 1280 and height 720 or width 1920 and height 1080. That's 1280p and 720p. You could also use 1440p or 2K or 4K or whatever, but I'd recommend personally I use 1280 by 720. So then name your thing. So I'm just going to do thumbnail tutorial for mine. You can use whatever name you want. Then when you get in, you can see this. I'd recommend putting it so background is transparent. I always forget to do that. And then all you're going to want to do is import your background. So personally, I usually have my files on my second monitor, but you can't see my second monitor, so I'll just keep them in the bottom corner. And I actually have a couple backgrounds. If I go to my pictures, I have those two backgrounds and those two backgrounds. My favorite background is probably this one, so I'm just going to import that. And there it is. I have my background in there. And now I'm just going to delete that background, and I can see this. There is some slight stuff going on around the edges, so I can just press Control T and fix that. Hold Alt Shift and you can just drag it and keep it in the same place. So I'll just put it like that and then center it again there. And now I have a good background. Now all I'm going to want to do is pick my color. So usually I like to do it like blue and yellow because it makes it pop, so I'd recommend doing blue and yellow. So I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, and then I'm going to change it till I get a nice blue or a nice yellow. Think the background for this thumbnail, I'll use a yellow background with blue text. Also, you can play around with the brightness and saturation and stuff. And then just do it till you think it looks... I think that looks pretty nice. Then all I'm going to want to do is get my text. So I'm going to grab my text. Make sure it's on horizontal. The font I use is Burbank Big Regular Black, and I like to use 200 pixel size. So I'm just going to put this to 200. You can also just come in and select it and type in 200. And then I'm going to change my color to the blue that I want. That looks pretty good. And now if I just do that, I'm going to do make and then put the top text first, the bottom text, then the middle thumbnails. So that's good. And then now I'm going to click the thing, make my text white. You can either do white for the top and bottom and then do your color for the middle, or your color for the top and bottom and white in the middle. So now I'm going to put, that looks good. And then also make sure that the text in the middle is slightly smaller. So I'm going to put this to 175. And then the middle text has to be centered. There. Now put both the bottom and top text directly on the middle text, like that. And then on one of them, go up or down as many pixels as you want. So I just usually do it 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now I can just drag this down and it will say like that. That says 10. So I'll put it back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 15. So that just the basic thumbnail. I'm gonna make this a bit smaller. I'm gonna put it to 150 instead. Actually 160. And now I'm gonna have to do all that again, so I'm gonna skip until all that's done. Okay, now I redid all that, and this is just the basic thing. This is just text. I'm not adding any images on this thumbnail. If you want to add images, make sure you get an image to one of the sides, put the text on the other side. You can just see examples in all my thumbnails. Make sure the image is something that actually has to do with your video. Don't clickbait it too much. Obviously, clickbait isn't that bad if it's done properly. Not like fully lying about it, but doing it right, making people want to click the video. And then all you're going to want to do with all these texts is go in and press rasterize type, and then you're going to want to go merge all of them together. After they're all merged, you're going to want to go to layer style, stroke. Now this is where all the big customization comes in. So I usually have it so that everything is filled in, so I'm just going to try putting it on 20. I'm going to want to have that filled in, so I think I'll put it on 18 and then fill all this in by myself. So now I'm going to want to set this to black, and I'm going to make a new layer. So all I have to do is press this little plus, and then I start filling in. So I'm just going to fill this like that, then click it, and now I'm good. I'm going to make sure that this layer is under my text So it doesn't look amazing, but it'll do. Might want to delete it a bit, make it look slightly natural. And I'm just going to pretty much fill in all of these little gaps. So if I just grab this, pick a size, just fill in every gap. Keep in mind, you don't have to do this. I'm kind of redoing mine a bit, so I'll just be back when I'm done filling all this. So guys, I'm done filling in all those gaps, and now as you can see, it look a lot better. If you want to do that, you can. I am just gonna quickly delete that layer, and if you want to know how to fill it in later, just keep watching this video. If you did that, you're gonna want to make sure that you have both of the layers merged. If you didn't do that, then just continue with this. You also don't even necessarily need to fill in the gaps, which is also good. Now go back into your layer style, do all that, and then obviously there's other layer styles. So now what you're going to want to do is add a second stroke, and you're going to want this, I like first stroke to be black, second stroke to be white, and you're going to want to put this stroke so it's 2 pixels bigger than your last one. So for me that would be 20, and then you're going to want to go to drop shadow, distance 0, spread 35, and then pick whatever size you want. So that looks good. Now I have a little glow going on around this, and now I can fill it in, all this extra stuff. So if I get this, if you're doing this, you're going to want a smaller size. So I'm going to put this on like 4, and then I'm just going to fill it in. Not going to fill in that part. And now I have it all filled in. So as you can see, looks pretty nice. And this is the next part if you want to do it. So just make a new layer, merge it immediately. Then go to layer style, inner glow, and then pick the color of your background. Depending how you do it, you'll have a bunch of these. You can clear those up, so make your inner glow however bright you want it. That looks pretty nice. Sometimes if you do that layer thing, it will kind of make it so it all just kind of gets put together and it won't pop up like this. But if it pops up like that, all you're going to want to do again is go back in with your brush and just fill it in on a different layer. So I'm just going to do all this and cut back when I am done. And guys, now I am done, and that is the thumbnail. Obviously I have a bit much of the background on, so I'm gonna merge this layer down, and I'm gonna change the inner glow a bit, maybe put down the opacity. I'm gonna put my size on 35. Put down the opacity a bit though. That looks pretty good. You're gonna probably have to go back and do all that stuff. And guys, that is the finished thumbnail. When you guys make your own thumbnails, you're gonna want to experiment with it a bit. You're gonna want to get your own color scheme, make it so that it pops, which this color scheme with the blue on the yellow kind of makes you want to click it some. And yeah, that's really all I have for this video. I hope this video did end up helping you. If it did, I would really appreciate it. If you guys could drop a like and subscribe. Subscribing is completely free, and you can unsubscribe whenever you want, and I'll see you guys in the next one.